Hello everyone, this is my first attempt at an alternative process of photographic printing. It's called Anthotype, and it was one of the earliest forms of photography created by a guy named Herschel something, who actually invented the word photography. And what it consists of is combining flowers or fruits or whatever you can in making them into a soup. That's my little soup right there. I used a blender and a bag of strawberry, blueberry, and some other blackberry concoction that they sell for food at grocery outlet. And I put it in a blender and blended it and added denatured alcohol, which is basically your fuel stove fuel. Just a little bit, about a capful, and not much, as you can see, of the mixture of the fruit. Put it in the blender and created a concoction, then put it through cheesecloth to get out all the seeds in that. So I just strained it through some cheesecloth, and then I created this little concoction here, which I painted on some very inexpensive watercolor paper. And I painted it with a regular brush. There's your watercolor paper. It's a 120-pound Canson. They sell it everywhere in these places like Hobby Lobby, etc. And I used a regular paintbrush, which I dampened and patted it dry so that it would be moist enough it wouldn't soak up all the juice. And then I painted the paper with it. And now it's just about dry. I helped dry it with a fan. And then this, I've actually made a contact frame, but this is a cheaper form of a contact frame. And it has, I bought rubber bands to put around the ends to make it tight. And it's just one of those frames that are clip frames that you can buy anywhere, fairly inexpensive. Buy it at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something like that. And then my plan is to put the rubber bands at either end to tighten this piece of paper against this positive internegative, or positive interpositive they call it, of an image I took. Now I copied this image with my copier on, as you'll see here, some transparency paper. And it's not a negative. I could make a negative, but you don't want to make a negative for this process. You want to make a positive. But I tried to have high contrast, so you see the blacks in between the clouds and in between the grasses, and of course on the juniper tree, and then you have the whites against the blacks in the mountains. Hopefully this will work. It may be the wrong photograph, it may not. But what I do is I take this negative, or a positive I should say, it's called an interpositive, and I place it on top of this coated piece of paper and put it in this glass and etc. Glass with a backing sandwich, clip it with my rubber bands, and then I'm going to take it out here and place it on this easel facing the sunlight to the south where it gets lots of sunlight. And I'll just have it, face out towards the sun and leave it there for about a week. Here's the easel at the window. A week, and check it and see how it's coming along, and maybe 2 weeks. But what the idea is, I'll go back to the room where I have the work, the paper drying. The idea is that the black in the image protects the substance that I painted, and the white areas or the lighter areas will fade out based on the sunlight. So it's a slow process. It's a primitive process, but an interesting process because it's so inexpensive and the materials are so cheap. Once again, there's my interpositive waiting to be placed on top of my coated with berries and denatured alcohol piece of watercolor paper. sandwiched into my clip frame using rubber bands to hold it together, and then placed in the window to develop over a period of about a week or two. I'll add another video to this to show how it's going along. Thanks again.